Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about the China Glaze Spring Fling collection. For spring 2017, there are 12 new polishes in this collection. We have primarily pinky peaches, neutrals, and some blues and greens. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to do live application of everything. If you're new to my channel, that's what we do here. I'm going to show you how these apply right on my nails in real time so that you can kind of already know what the formula is going to be like before you go purchase, because nothing is more frustrating than buying a beautiful polish that just really does not apply well because you're not even going to wear it. So what was the point of buying it? So we're going to get right into that. If you want to stick around to the end of the video, we're going to talk about some dupes or comparisons within China Glaze online, and if there's anything I don't cover in that portion, you can feel free to ask it in the comments section below, and on Instagram is usually where I address dupes and comparisons sort of things. So let's get right into these polishes. I'm going to start with the pink and peachy kind of things, and then we're going to move on to the blues and greens. On my nails today is one of the polishes from the collection, and on my lips is this beautiful kind of rosy nude from Wet n Wild, their liquid catsuit. I just picked this up the other day, called Rebel Rose, and oh, so easy to wear. So let's get started with these polishes. I purchased the whole set at one of my favorite e-tailers, which is headtodoebeauty.com. I'm going to link it right here or list it here for you, but it will be linked in the description bar below. And I also recommend the website Trans Design. They're both, all the China Glaze polishes are sold for the same price at those two locations. It just depends on which one you want to go with. So let's start first with this awesome hot bright pink. So this is called Kiss My Sherbet Lips. I guess this feels like a hot pink compared to everything else in the collection, but actually when put alongside other hot pinks, this is a little tame, but I love it. It's a very cool tone pink. There's a lot of, you know, kind of purpley vibes going on in here, and it has a pretty strong shimmer. And I don't love pink. If you have been here with me on my channel for a while, you already know that. And I really loved this. So if you love pink, you're really going to want to grab this one. It applied perfectly in 2 coats. That's what you're looking at here. And yeah, I really recommend this. The next polish is this peachy pink, like kind of peachy rose shade. It has a very strong golden peach shimmer, and this one's called Moment in the Sunset. That's a really beautiful name for this because it really does look like that. This one is kind of on the sheerer side. However, you think you're going to need more than 2 coats, but I think it was actually fine. I'm just showing you 2 coats in the live application and in my swatch photo. This is really beautiful. The gold shimmer just really shines incredibly bright, and I loved that about it. So this is another hit for me, and I loved that what was seemingly going to be a more sheer polish actually turned out to be a great 2-coater. So this one again is Moment in the Sunset. The next polish is a kind of peachy pink cream, and so this is the first one we've looked at so far that has no shimmer, and it is called I Just Can't Elope, and so like the fruit. This is gorgeous, great again in 2 coats. There's no shimmer in here, it's just a straight up cream. I really adored this one as well. It applied smoothly and easily, no problems here, so I felt very comfortable wearing it at 2 coats, and so that's what the swatch photo is going to be as well. Alright, this next polish is kind of going to look a lot to you like Moment in the Sunset, but it's totally different in that this is actually more of a topper polish. So this again has that very peach golden look to it in the bottle, and this is called Buns Out, Buns Out, which is incredibly cute. And it has a really strong, not chunky shimmer, but it's definitely there, you know, stronger than in Moment in the Sunset, for example. So I actually am showing you the live application of this on its own. I tried building it up for you so that you could see how it looked on 3 coats. I feel like you could wear it that way if you like that look. If you absolutely don't enjoy any visible nail line, then you won't like this on its own, I don't think. So I did swatch this over a few things, and I really liked it over I Just Can't Elope, so I'm showing it to you as a swatch photo over this. I also swatched it over one of the neutrals. It's actually a matte neutral that's coming up later on in the collection. So, you know, you have a lot of different options with this polish. You can wear it on its own. You can wear it over a lot of different things. It does have a colored base, so it's not just straight up the gold shimmer that is topping anything. It is going to change the color just a little bit to this peachy shade, you know, whatever you put it over. But I do think this is really, really lovely and a gorgeous, bright shimmer. There are only 3 more colorful things in this collection, and the last 5 things are neutrals. So we're going to go to those 3 here first. So first up, I have this Sea Green Cream. This is another polish that has no shimmer in it or anything. And this one is called Too Much of a Good Fling. And this is what it looks like it's going to be. I did not have issues with this polish. It's a great, beautiful, light sea green cream, 2-coater. I was very happy about that. This didn't make a mess. As you can see, I was able to apply it fine. Just 2 coats, and it's nice and glossy. And the photo is 2 coats. I just really love this. This is just a really calming color for me. The next 2 polishes in the collection are highly lustery polishes. So I feel like they do appeal to a certain polish lover. I really like a lot of luster and shimmer, but I already know that you guys are probably going to comment on the brush stroke quality of these polishes. That's just the kind of polishes they are. They are a luster, high shimmer finish. So let's start with the teal first. So this one is called Don't Teal My Vibe, and just as it looks, it's a beautiful teal, just gorgeously pigmented luster polish. So what that means, if it's a luster polish, is as you pull the brush from your cuticle down to the nail, you can actually see where the brush was as it applies the polish. That's just kind of the property of that kind of component that goes into making these polishes. If you don't mind that, basically this just makes it for a very high shine, really glistening, shimmering kind of look on the nail. So you're looking at 2 coats. I didn't feel like I needed more than that, so I really enjoyed this. This isn't probably going to be for everybody, just because I know how many of you don't enjoy brush strokes on your nail, you know, but there are some things that you can do about that if you absolutely love this color. So anyway, this is 2 coats of Don't Teal My Vibe, and I really enjoyed it. The second lustery polish is this incredibly bright electric blue. This is so gorgeous. So because this is so blindingly bright, it has to do with the luster quality of this polish again. So this is going to be the same kind of thing as the polish that we just looked at. This is called Crushin on Blue, and I actually am going to show you 3 coats of this one. This one was a little bit more sheer. I'm not really sure why they went that route, but in any case, I didn't feel like the 3 coats deterred me from wanting to wear this. That's just me, of course. That was just my opinion, because I love this color so much. It's so gorgeous. You are going to see the brush strokes though, unless you take preventative measures. But I just think it's so stunning. So we are looking at 3 coats of Crushin on Blue. Alright guys, so those were all the colored polishes in the collection. The last 5 are all neutrals, so let's get right into it. I know a lot of you like neutrals just as much as I do. The first polish is this kind of grungy looking silver chrome. And at first when I saw this, I thought, oh no, this is just like, you know, holidays a couple seasons back where we're chromed out, you know, but I took a closer look and there is a strong green shimmer in this. So actually it kind of looked very, I don't know, what it reminded me of was like 7-Up. It was like the silver of the can with the green, I don't know how to, or Sprite, you know what I mean? Like a lemon lime soda. It was a very beautiful combination. I love that green. It's not gonna show up like so bright on your nail where you're looking at your nail and you're like, wow, look at all that cool green reflex, but if you know to look for it, you can see it. So I'm showing you this at 2 coats. I really thought it was fun. This is called It's a Boat Time, which is really cute. So I enjoyed this. The next 2 polish are very The Giver collection-esque. 2 or 3 summers ago, was it? They're just these beautiful, almost white, kind of tan white, or just basically a white or off-white neutral polishes. So let's start with this very, very white one. This actually, when I look at it, I see just like they took their giant vat, you know, that they created this polish in, because they make their polishes in such huge quantities. And it looks like they dropped like 2 drops of blue for that whole vat of polish. You know what I mean? Like you can tell that there's something about this that's not straight up white, and when I hold it next to other things, I feel like it's a tiny little drop of like blue-gray. So that's what it looks like to me. This is called Blanc Out, and the word blank is spelled with a C on the end. And it's really beautiful for a white. This does great at 2 coats. It's not like a 1 coat wonder type of polish, but I think it is very beautiful. And I think because that little touch of blue is in there, it almost makes it like even brighter. So this is like a really bright white polish if you will like a really standout white polish on your nails or toes. So anyway, yeah, this is 2 coats of Blanc Out. This next polish is the polish that I've had on my nails in this video, and when I opened the package from Head to Toe Beauty after I had ordered it and I got to my doorstep, I was pulling everything out and I just predicted right away that this was going to be one of my favorites out of the whole bunch because this is such a favorite of mine of a way to wear neutral. I just love this. It's a very like grayish type of shade where it's gray and beige, but there's like a little tiny bit of pink in there. So this is called We Run This Beach. Let me make sure I pronounce that correctly. I love this. This is a great 2-coater for such a light polish. It has such great coverage. So yeah, this is a definite favorite for me. This isn't something that you've never seen before. Like I said, I already know that I love polishes like this. So there are plenty out there that are kind of like this. But yeah, I just thought it was really great, and I love wearing neutrals in this shade. Alright, so second to last, I have to say, unfortunately, this is a polish that I wasn't totally in love with, and you're going to see pretty quickly why. This has the kind of formula that China Glaze sometimes does. They did one in their fall collection, I think also their winter collection, where it's a matte polish that dries incredibly fast, and I get a little bit frustrated with those polishes because I apply nail polish all day long, all the time, and if I'm having a frustrating time, it makes me think, well, it's probably a good bet that you're gonna have a frustrating time for that. And so anyway, the live application shows that you don't just have to take my word for it. This is a really beautiful kind of tan sandy color. It's called Life is Sweet, but I feel like the formula is just so frustrating. So I mean, it depends on if you think that you can get a good application with this. Because it dries very fast, there's more likelihood for streakiness, and then you kind of have ridginess, and so that's why it's just kind of frustrating for me, because I like to be able to take my time, you know, not to be rushed through my application. Anyway, if you're able to make this work, I think this is a very beautiful color, and this is the one that I also put Buns Out, Buns Out over, and I think it looked really beautiful. Kind of helped with the whole uneven streakiness problem because it kind of covered that up a little bit. Very last in the collection, we have a metallic with some glitter in it. So it's almost like they took a little note out of OPI's book. I hope not really, because people didn't really care for that too much. The difference here is, though, that this is kind of like a metallic rose copper, which is just absolutely stunning. It has a gorgeous, just easy formula, but it has small gold glitters in there, and then it has small holographic bars. So they're not so long that they're gonna look hairy on you. That won't be the frustration. The frustration will be if you already know you don't like metallic glitter combos because they end up looking just too bumpy and kind of on the nail. I have to admit that this, I felt less kind of yucky about this one than I did some of those other OPIs that did that same thing. I don't know what it is about the formula, it just kind of worked a little bit better. I did notice though that because they combined these holographic glitters in this metallic formula, maybe only 1 out of like the 12 bar glitters that were sitting on the top surface of my nail was I able to actually see the holographic nature of it because it was kind of covered up by the metallic. Anyway, this is just, you know, my experience with it, and I'm showing you what happened with mine. I do still really enjoy this, even though, you know, I'm telling you the few maybe negatives about this polish, because I just like to give you a heads up. The holographic in the bottle does look really beautiful, and you can see a few little glimmers of that holographic here or there if it's not, you know, covered up by that top layer of polish. So anyway, this one is called Beach It Up, and this is the last polish out of the Spring Fling collection. So now is when we are going to move on to the dupes portion of the video. If you are not interested in that at all, thank you for hanging out and coming by for this video, and let me know in the comments below what your favorite polish of this collection was and if you'll be picking any of them up. If you are interested in some dupes, well then just keep on watching. Alright you guys, so we are going to be looking at some dupes or comparisons really for these polishes. I do want to go ahead and start out by saying that I did not find a single exact dupe within China Glaze line, and I have more China Glaze polish than any other brand. So we have some things that are quite similar, but due to shimmer or different finishes, I couldn't call anything an exact dupe. I will be showing you lots of things that I think will be useful to see a comparison side by side. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the deeper kind of fuchsia pink. So to start with the pink, we have Kiss My Sherbet Lips from this year's collection, and it's right here in the middle. And I'm gonna show you some pretty similar things, and then we're gonna get farther and farther away in similarity. So I feel like the most similar thing that I had in my collection is this, which is a tiny bit lighter. This is Rich and Famous. And then on this side, it's just a teeny tiny bit darker. And this is in the near fuchsia. I do have a bunch of other things here that are pretty similar, but nothing as close as those two. And I wouldn't say that this is duped by any of these polishes because Kiss My Sherbet Lips has pretty strong shimmer. And none of these polishes either has as strong a shimmer or they just don't even have any shimmer at all. So even though I have some similar colors, this is not a dupeable polish. So down here we have Don't Messa With My Heart. I really love that polish. And you know, it's not exactly similar there, but I felt like it was worth showing you because these are all polishes that looked pretty close in the bottle. So I thought you might be wondering about them. Down here at the bottom we have I'll Pink to That, which is obviously a more pink polish and less of a strawberry fuchsia kind of shade, but I wanted to show it to you anyway. All right, I'm gonna move up to a few things here that are a little bit darker, but still kind of in the same tonal family. So here still we have Kiss My Sherbet Lips, and then we had In the Near Fuchsia, and above that here we have Make an Entrance, which I do think is pretty close, but you know, obviously not a dupe. We have Fuchsia Fanatic, we have the gorgeous Dune Our Thing, and we have Designer Satin. So not any dupes here, some similar things down here at the bottom. And so if you had Rich and Famous or In the Near Fuchsia, you'd have something pretty close, but no exact dupes. Next up, we're going to talk about I Just Can't Elope, and that is here, right here, second from the bottom. First up, I want to show you the comparison to Pinking Out the Window. That's it right here, and it is a little bit, just a little bit more pink basically. They are very similar, it's a little bit more pink. And then on the bottom we have this kind of more like sherbet orange shade. More to explore. I mean, kind of a similar idea, and they looked like they were similar enough in the bottle that I thought you guys might want to see them side by side. And at the top we have Pedal to the Metal, which is just a gorgeous kind of peachy pink, almost neon kind of shade. So there are those for you to compare. All right, so I do not have any comparisons for you for these two polishes in the collection. This is Buns Out, Buns Out, which is the topper, and China Glaze doesn't have a ton of toppers like this. They kind of have fiddled around with a few other colors, but not in this color range yet, so I didn't have anything to show you for that. And then we have China Glaze Moment in the Sunset, and you just looked at a lot of pink things and a lot of peachy things, and this is kind of in between the two, and I really looked through my polishes and I didn't find anything like this that has such a strong gold shimmer. So I also don't have any comparison for Moment in the Sunset. So Beach It Up from the collection, the only polish that has a little bit of glitter is here in the middle, and it's obviously super original, especially with those bar holographics. But I just wanted to show you side by side to a couple things. So on the bottom we have Meet Me in the Mirage, which is just the most awesome gold, rose gold metallic ever, but that's what it kind of looks like there. It's a little bit more rosy than the polish in this year's collection. And then we have I'm Not Lying, and I just put it side by side here for you so you could see kind of the difference between the micro glitter holographic and what's in this year's collection. And basically it's like they have the micro glitter kind of effect in this combined with this kind of thing down here, and it made this polish. Alright, so we're going to talk about the two lustrous polishes, and honestly, China Glaze doesn't have anything comparable in their collection as of yet. They just really haven't gotten into these kind of sheer lustrous polishes, but I do want to show you some things that are close color-wise. Obviously, this is not incredibly close, but in the bottle, you know, really, compared to all the other China Glaze blues, these are the most similar things in the bottle. So here we have Manhunt, which is an absolutely gorgeous, almost navy blue. They're not at all the same, as you can see, but here is a side-by-side for you anyway. Okay, so up here we have just one of my favorite blues from China Glaze. This is I See the Point. Probably the most similar in the bottle, even though it's obviously so totally different. So these top two polishes look kind of similar as well, but they obviously have some strong shimmer that is offsetting the blue. And this one here, Come Rain or Shine, obviously has the pink shimmer, and this one on top, Joy to the Waves, has the green shimmer. Joy to the Waves is probably the most similar, but it looks really different because of the green shimmer. So anyway, here are some things that I thought you might want to see side by side, but definitely no dupes from China Glaze. Now, if I were to compare them with some things from OPI, you might find a lot more similar things because they've played around with the kind of lustery look more than China Glaze, but we are just talking about China Glaze today. All right, so many beautiful tealy turquoise shades to compare to Don't Teal My Vibe, which is right here. And again, nothing similar enough to even call it a dupe or even really a comparison. If you look here how different these are. But in China Glaze's huge array of polishes, these were the closest things that I had to show to you. So actually the most similar is this one here on top, and that's Turned Up Turquoise, but it dries matte. Maybe if I was going to gloss this up, it would look a little bit more similar, but because of the formula and the components in them, they're just super duper different polishes. But in the bottle, these ones look pretty similar. And then down here, these ones are quite a bit more green than this year's polish. We have Custom Kicks, which does have a lot of shimmer in it, but way too green, and it's basically the same exact polish as this one down here. It's just Custom Kicks has some shimmer. Beautiful polish. I had forgotten how much I love Custom Kicks. And then on the bottom we have My Way or The Highway. Again, really beautiful, but this is really as close as it got for this polish, you guys. All right, you guys, another polish that had a lot to compare it to was Too Much of a Good Fling right here in the middle. So yeah, we're gonna go through all of these polishes. Obviously, as you can see, there are no exact dupes. There are a lot of similar things though, and I was so surprised. I mean, I love this shade. China Glaze can never have too much of this kind of shade, but I was so surprised when I just kept pulling bottle after bottle after bottle, and I thought that these would all, you know, be good to just kind of take a look at. So as you can see, this one is just like a really gorgeous sea green, and I feel like the very closest thing is here at face value, but as you can see, it's quite a bit lighter. So basically, these are pretty similar polishes. This just has a lot more white in it. And then down here, we have Aquadelic, which would be the opposite of that. So basically, this has a lot more white, and Aquadelic just is quite a bit darker. So there you have the two sides of Too Much of a Good Fling. Let's keep moving down. Another very similar polish is for Audrey, but as you can see, it has a little bit more blue, it has more gray in it. And this one here as well, Kinetic Candy, is just more grayed out. So there you have the kind of the darker side of it. I do have one other darker one above. Let's go ahead and switch our paper. All right, so here's Too Much of Good Fling again. And going up, this color, oh my goodness, is so gorgeous. This is just like basically the neon version of Too Much of a Good Fling. This is Too Yacht to Handle, which is interesting. They both start with 2. Moving up, we have Partridge in a Palm Tree. This is that weird kind of matte formula from last winter's collection. This color is so beautiful with some top coat, and I just wish that it didn't have that formula. As you can see, it's darker. All right, we have some lighter things, and these have a little bit, like way less blue in it actually. So here you have Keep Calm Paint On, which has quite a bit of shimmer in it, and Refresh Mint. So there you have all the things that I thought might be handy to see side by side. And so yeah, I hope that is helpful for you. As I said, I do not think that there are any exact dupes here, so you can be pretty confident when you pick that up that you at least won't have a China Glaze polish that is exactly the same. All right, you guys, so this lineup here shows both Blanc Out, which is second from the bottom down here, and We Run This Beach at the very top, because We Run This Beach, when I was going to compare it to things, it turned out to be so much more pinky toned than I really thought it was. So I have it here next to the very light pink whites in their collection. So we're just gonna kind of do this all at the same time. So here we have Blanc Out, second from the bottom, and I just wanted to show you here next to White on White. The White on White is so yellow looking compared to Blanc Out. So remember how I was talking before how it just looks like it has just a tiny drop of blue in it, and that's what's making it look so much more white, like actually white than this white here, this White on White. And keep in mind too that this paper that I have underneath here is like a linen finish slightly blue-gray, like it's a very, very, very slight, kind of like Blanc Out. So I wanted to show it right next to this polish here, and this is New Birth from the Giver collection. And I apologize, I got a little something else on there. This one basically has a couple drops more blue than Blanc Out. So I thought that this was going to be my most like white blue polish, but in fact, New Birth is even just a little bit more blue. So there you have those side by side, and I do want to go ahead and say I don't have any dupes here for you, but we have some very, very similar things. Okay, another one that I thought you might want to see side by side is Let's Chalk About It. And here we're getting to some polishes that are maybe more similar to We Run This Beach, but they're also very white. Like on the nails, they almost look white. So that's why we're putting it by Blanc Out. So here's Let's Chalk About It. Here's Carpe Diem, which dries matte. It's kind of like a good mix between this color and the white from this year's collection. Keep on going, we have Friends Forever Right, which is a really good also mix between the two. I feel like it's just, this polish looks white in the bottle. It's just because we have them sitting here next to all these other whites that you can see so clearly that it's not white. But this again is, I feel like, Let's Chalk About It and Friends Forever Right are probably the closest to We Run This Beach. Just, you know, slightly lighter versions. So then here at the top you have We Run This Beach. So these are all the polishes that I thought might be helpful in comparisons to both Blanc Out and We Run This Beach. All right, you guys, here is It's a Boat Time here in the middle. That's the silver that has just that green shimmer in it that just makes it look just a little bit more grungy, right? You can't actually see the green shimmer in it. I wanted to show you the most similar things in China Glaze line. I have check out the Silver Fox is just a gorgeous one coat silver metallic, just absolutely delicious. And that's the kind of metallic where it's more granular, like you can actually see the little bits in it kind of. And then we have the more chrome look, and this one is I'd Melt For You, and I feel like this one is a pretty good combination of those two ideas. If I would had to pick, I'd say it's a little bit more chrome-like, more like I'd Melt For You, but having that shimmer in there kind of breaks it up. So there are the most similar things, and as you can see, no dupes, but if you're not absolutely wild for silver or metallics, you could probably do just fine with one of these. And I'd have to say I'd check out the Silver Fox. It's definitely one of my favorite silver metallics ever. And last up, we have the comparisons for Life is Sweet. So as you can see, here is the most similar thing, but it's a little bit darker, just a little bit. And Life is Sweet is a matte polish like we talked about, and I just wish it wasn't. I mean, you guys, I love this color so much. But anyway, so we have Sand in My Mistletoes, super duper close. I mean, I'm gonna use this one as my go-to when I want a color like this because I do not want to mess around with that formula. And this is so similar and just so much easier to apply. So there's Sand in My Mistletoes. That is my top pick for you. Some other similar things I thought you might want to see. These are none of them dupes. We have Don't Honk Your Thorn. That has some beautiful shimmer in it. As you can see, a lot less peachy toned. Then we have What She Doon, which is an absolute favorite. Actually, that just showed up in my Polishes I Can't Live Without video, I think. What She Doon is just a beautiful sandy tan cream that just applies like a dream. And then we have Sorry I'm Latte, which does have a lot more of that peachiness in it. It's just a deeper kind of tan peach. I think my kids are trying to jump off the bed. I think maybe they're breakdancing upstairs. I don't know. Salem's watching them. They must be having a breakdancing competition. So there you have my comparisons for Life is Sweet. All right, you guys, so here they are all again side by side. I hope that you found this helpful. That's what I always hope. That's the whole point of my channel. As always, if there's anything else that you're wondering about, leave it in the comments section below. I tried my best to get absolutely everything that you could possibly be wondering about, but I am only human. There is a chance that I might have missed something. So, you know, just let me know if there's something you want to know about. All right, guys, so that's everything I had to show you within China Glaze line today. I hope that you found that helpful, so you know if you maybe needed to skip out on some of these because you had something very similar. Thanks you guys for stopping by for this video. If you're new to my channel and you aren't yet subscribed, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All it does is let you know when I put out a new video, especially if you hit that little bell notification. It'll just tell your phone whenever I put out something new, and then you can swipe to it when you're ready and you can watch it. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I will see you back for the next review. Take care. Bye.